Hey, my name's John, and I hope you're doing well today. And today I want to talk about something that's often pretty overlooked during our everyday lives, and that being professionalism. I know. You're thinking that this is going to be another boring video about careers, jobs, and mannerisms. And yes, that is a large part of what professionalism is. But before you click off, I want you to think about what a professional is, and how that's different, and what it really means in the context of becoming one. I say this because it's the start of 2025. I was looking back at my career throughout the past few years, and it's been a while since I graduated and transitioned to the workplace, and especially during the pandemic, it hasn't always been so smooth. I went from working at some smaller startups to working at a larger and more well-known company. Throughout my short career up until this point, I've met a lot of people, worked on some interesting projects, and had some good discussions on what it really means to, well, work. I'm thankful for the people I've had a chance to talk and work with, some more than others who share some very insightful views on this marathon that pretty much everyone has to go through one way or another, and the people who carry themselves in a way that's representative of all the good traits that made working with them feel so professional. But what is a professional? Are we simply professionals because we get paid? Or is it something else about our conduct that better encapsulates this word? By all means, me, you, your parents, friends are all professionals. We get paid to do a job, we hopefully do it, and rinse and repeat. And to some, that's enough. But I want to take a more nuanced approach by splitting being a professional and acting professional as two different things. Mainly because the former is so tied and bogged down with money that it just loses meaning and is something simply transactional. The latter, however, is something that I think we can all imagine as a standard for what we expect when we work with someone. Think punctual, polite, knowledgeable, reasonable, engaged, and whatever other traits you have in your head. We all might have some different variations, but I think it's all pretty similar nonetheless. And if I were to ask you about some of the most professional people you ever worked with, chances are they share some of the traits that I just listed. I certainly during my internship days and also early throughout my career was anything but. I remember projects that I never delivered on time, or that I wasn't as knowledgeable as I should have been in a certain domain that I was actively working in. Thinking back, I'm honestly a bit embarrassed at myself for how I acted over the years, but I think that's a normal part of everyone's career for growing and steadily improving. Some of the people that I thought were professionals were super knowledgeable, engaged with what they did, and weren't afraid to push back on what they thought was unreasonable, while being humble and open to new ideas from anybody, whether they were a junior all the way to leadership. Especially working at where I am currently, I see some of the best people I've ever worked with. Smart engineers that were knowledgeable in what they do, able to challenge and disagree with each other, all while being polite and productive. And it's these types of people that I found were the best to work with, as not only did I feel good about the type of work that we shipped, but also how straightforward it was to work with them. Stuff such as asking good questions in design documents, or the willingness to teach others, made me more confident about developing my own skills later on. Granted, I feel like that these are always dependent on what type of job you have. What's considered professionalism might be a bit different to say what a nurse might expect, but at the end of the day, we all strive to work with people like this. And I think it's important to be thankful when we're on the other side, on the receiving end of professionals that we thought were good. Whether that would be when you go to a restaurant with good food and good service, from going to the bank for financial questions. We often lash out and get angry when things don't go our way, but when things are good and professional, it's sometimes missed because of just how we expect it by default. So I think it's important to sit back and think past just the transactional part of working and think more broadly about what professionalism is. Chances are you've worked with some people that you thought were professionals, and I'm curious what they've done to make you think that way. And by contrast, was there anybody that was the complete opposite, who you thought was so unprofessional and hard to work with? So, as always, thanks for watching. Until next time.